There are a few elements to sharing folders in Google Drive that you need to be aware of. Now, I'm going to imagine that I want to share this folder with somebody. I can either go up here to the Add a Person, which says Share Google Drive, or I could do the same thing by right-clicking and clicking Share. I'm going to go and do this at the top. Now, sharing gives you a number of options and permissions for you to share this with people. So we're going to take this a bit slow. The first thing you might need to pay attention to is this little cogwheel here, and that's your sharing settings. This is for if you do not want people to be able to share or change the permissions of the folder or file that you are sharing with them. I'm going to imagine I do want them to do that, so I'm going to leave this on as it is by default. Now, I can either type this in manually, and it will give me the option to email these people. And I can give the permission to either be an editor, which gives them option to edit them, a commenter, which gives them only the option to comment, or a viewer, which means they won't be able to edit the file or comment on the file, but simply be a viewer. And this, if you type in this message box, it will send them an email which gives them permission to view this file. What you can also do is give somebody a link. You can do this by just copying this link here. You can paste that into a Google Classroom, you can share that in an email, you can post that in a message to somebody, and it will give them access to that. And you can again change the permissions for if you want them to be a viewer, an editor, or a commenter. And you can give people Worthing in your organisation, Worthing High School, access to view this file or find it. You can change the permission for if you want people in our organisation to be able to see this, or if anyone with the link can see it, or if you want that restricted to simply the people you share that link to. Now, this is quite important for if you're sharing documents with parents or students, you might want to restrict who can have access to this document. Especially if it's private information, you'll want to restrict this information as it means that people in the organisation won't have access to this. Bear in mind, because I have shared it, it shares my whole folder and applies those permissions to everything within that folder. So if I will give someone access to my whole Google instruction folder, and those permissions will apply to those files. If I want to simply share a file, I need to go and do that on the file directly. And that will either be, and we'll go through that later.